evening and welcome to the Post Cafe. It is where artists comes alive. Spoken word brings forth the inner creations of hidden treasures. Expressing tones of lyrics stuck within the soul. Vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds, be it writers, singers, spoken words, artistic expressions and painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities through the mind at all levels. Wherefore my time leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, with birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina, gazing across the stage in her soft-toed ballerina shoes. Welcome to the Artist Poetry Cafe Show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCrae. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to engulf a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. This is Poetically Speaking, the place for the spoken word, with yours truly, Terry Benjamin, and my brother here, Ronald C. McCrae. Our engineer for this evening is Jeff, and we welcome you for another adventure. I'm going to get right into it because we got a lot to cover tonight. Today's agenda, who's the man with the master plan? But also it could be who's the woman with the master plan. Okay, we don't discriminate in terms of that because, again, we all have to have a plan. We have to have a purpose. And what you want to do, you want to put some passion behind that plan and that purpose, and you'll be successful. And the quote of the day is, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. And this is from Thomas Edison, who was an inventor, and he had many failures before he had success, and he didn't give up. So again, the quote of the day: many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Mr. Thomas Edison. And again, as always, we begin with the poetry of Mr. Ron C. McCrae. So this is Ron's poetry. Ron, what you got for us tonight?
You know, if I may just piggyback off that,
Please.
that is so true. And as we know, those who have heard and understand, patience is a virtue.
Right.
You know, so many too often get to that point all of a sudden they give up because it's not coming fast enough.
Yes,
They,
yes.
You know, I've been trying it for too long.
Mhm,
But as you
mhm.
indicate with Thomas Edison and many long before him, continue 1,000 times. Einstein, you know, over a period of time. But let me say this before I get right into the piece.
Yes, sir.
You know, God said to Abraham, as far as your eyes can see. And the bottom line is, many can see across the street, but they fail to realize the time you start crossing the street, all of a sudden you didn't cross the street.
That's right.
Because the block that you thought was close to you really was so far away. But the point is to continue to keep on. In some ways along the line, your blessings and dreams will come true, no matter what they may be. So don't give up.
That's true.
What I have here is, matter of fact, I have a couple of things. But let me read this. I had it in front of me.
Was there, yeah?
You know what? I want to read this one. This one is titled Tug of War. A tug of war. And this is important, so allow me. Pulling against the flow of life where forces are stronger than individual strength.
That's right.
And time offers no comfort, even as it takes away while the wind sees the breath, causing one to surrender, only to walk away without understanding that war has no side. The battlefield of exhaustion, losing to burdens without admitting fault, is never justified when equal opportunities fight against its own. Attitudes resembles a bowl of mixed complaints simmering into a disastrous feeling and recovery can take many tries, often causing bitterness without understanding that the self is to blame for losing sight of right and wrong. Self-satisfaction does not carry the medal of honor, but it gains the respect of ignorance and stupidity. How does one look back and realize that life isn't about chasing joy in the moment of anger, but about remembering that happiness appears in the morning and during dark days, and about shining with the brightness of a smile while moving towards goodness? Pleasure is found by those who humble themselves and seek to understand why two oppose each other instead of uniting through agreement to create a harmonious and free life. Walking hand in hand is better with two than struggling alone without support. Life is a journey of trials and amid turbulent circumstances, but love builds the foundation of stability without losing sight of the other. Support is crucial for the whole. Alone, we fall into disgrace. Tug of war. Is it worth the challenge, or are you a fool for life? And it kind of ties into the topic of the day, in reference to success. What are you doing? Is it a tug of war? Or are you impatient? Or are you fighting against yourself? Or fighting against your partner? Fighting against who? What, when, why, and how? Right. The bottom line is, think about it, a tug of a war. And it's a battle. So you have to go with the flow. Because when water and wind flow, they flow in one direction. They don't fight against itself. Right. Nor does the wind turn around and battle against you. But you hear the wind, but you know not what forth it was blowing. But all you got to do is allow yourself harmoniously to simmer into the moment of time and patience, and allow it to glide you through, because you will get to that destination of your dreams, passions, no matter how you look at it. It's the same thing with water. The only time where it appears to be a turbulence against itself is because it's only trying to get you to stay focused and follow it. It may go in circles, but it's going in one direction.
That's so true. And again, sometimes the tug of war could be internal. Okay, you know what you got to do, but you won't do it, or you know what you got to do, and then you procrastinate. And so it's going back and forth. It's a tug of war, but it's a tug of war within yourself. Richard Metley checking in. He said, "Good evening. God bless." God bless you, Richard. Again, thank you for joining us this evening. But again, tug of war. It's not always with somebody else. Sometimes it's within yourself. So what else you got for us, brother?
You know, it's... I was thinking about something. I just lost my thought. It's just that quick. But you know, let me read. Let me read this one. At least as we continue to move forward, because this is important, and we always have exciting pieces to present to you, and that's what's important. And your comments are extremely important. And matter of fact, before I read this, I want to say this, because it goes back to, because I know you have mentioned something, and you always present something in reference to not only reading, but the dictionary.
Yes.
And I have here, for example, the thinker thesaurus.
Whoa, yeah, that's words. Words have power.
And what's important is not about trying to be a brilliant and bright person, not trying to present yourself with big words, because everybody on every level cannot use big words, pronounce them. But the most important conversation of any language is common, just common sense. And so in that book, it just kind of tell you, learn a new word is nice. It's fabulous. But don't try to impress yourself or trying to impress somebody else. But you impress yourself by knowing that you have learned something different.
That's right. That's right.
Let me read this right quick. The master key of thinking. Do you think? How do you think? What do you think about? The true principle of thinking are uncovered by understanding how you think, what you think about, and what you are thinking for. Creating desires of the heart and mind, an image of what you know you can conceive simply by believing and asking, and you will achieve what you can see beyond the boundary of your thoughts. Do you believe it? The mind is an organ that holds all memories of thought as long as it remains active. You got to use your mind.
That's right. That's for sure.
Functioning as the Creator designed it, the ability to invest in oneself to turn all efforts into future success and wealth. The master key to wealth is the way you think. Think about the things you most desire as you repeat them regularly and bring them to life. They will come to fruition if you genuinely believe in what you crave and pray sincerely for those things. Thoughts are the driving force towards your purpose as long as you stay focused. Focus on the material needed to build your dream's future. Don't look to the left or right. Instead, meditate earnestly with a sincere heart and mind and emotions, holding a firm resolve without any distraction. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, say, or ask for input, stay focused on the purpose that has been set. Always remember to take it one step at a time. Don't push or force it. It will happen in its own time. Keep waiting and nurturing your vision, dreams, and desire. When you manifest those things, the fruits of your labor will grow from seed to roots, and watch your wealth spread like wildflowers across the plains of time, right before your eyes. Patience is the key to anything you most crave. Let the lilies of emotion simmer and take their course. Nothing happens overnight. Consider these ideas and inspire your feelings towards a higher power within. As you nurture the seed of life, blessings will pour down and fill your cup that runneth over.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Robert Cabestock on deck. He's good evening. So good evening, Robert Cabestock. Yes, yes. Again, another. I mean, I like the way that you put that, because everything seems to come back to you being in control of yourself.
Right.
You know, you can't lead other people unless you can lead yourself. So I guess you got to know yourself, right?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. I mean, if you don't know who you are, and you don't know who you are because you don't think about who you are. And as I said, it's about thinking.
That's deep.
I mean, all of us have a mind. Utilize it. It has energy. It's an organ. It receives any and everything there is. Okay? But it's up to you how you organize it and receive it and put it in its place where it's supposed to be.
That's right.
If garbage come in or garbage go out, well, that's how you thought about it.
That's right. That's
But
right.
doesn't mean that garbage come in, and if you don't organize it, it won't come out like garbage. But what you want to do is revitalize that, so when it comes out in a manner that everyone will receive not only what you presented, but they received you. You see, and we always say, you know, one person's trash is somebody else's treasure.
That's right. That's right.
And so you
right.
may think of garbage, but somebody may look at you as garbage. But when you open your mouth, you carry yourself, you present yourself in a manner, somebody says, whoa,
Yeah, that's true.
I love that person. I want to follow that person.
And the thing is, you know, I think it really pays to take time to be as clear as you possibly can. You know, make it plain. Make it plain. Don't use big words to try to make people say, "Oh man, he's so heavy, he's so deep." No, that doesn't help anybody. That's showing off. And right now, and we're going to get into it a little later on in the program, the art of conversation. The art of conversation is to make it plain, to understand and be understood, as my brother does with his poetry.
You know, the most important thing, everyone has a PhD, but everyone doesn't know that they have a PhD. Why? Because everyone does not take time to understand what is a PhD.
That's right.
Okay?
Good point.
To get a PhD, and we always said before, you have to start with one. What is one? One is common.
That's right.
The most important level of a PhD is having common sense. You know, if you don't have common sense, you really don't have any education at all. You know, and unfortunately, that's why a lot of things come out so distorted.
That's right.
And an argument, and everything builds up. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in the whirlwind. You get mad at the world. You say, "Oh, I just can't," and then all kind of words come out.
Yes.
But if you just use common sense and listen to what's being said,
yes.
you know, get an understanding of it, and that's what's important.
Right, and listen without trying to be so quick to respond. Listen, you know, there is a such thing as active listening.
Yeah.
You know, you're not listening to respond, but you're listening for understanding, and that's going to keep the conversation going. Not trying to be right, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we hear every day on the news or somebody conversation, more people. A large percentage of society get on Facebook and whatever to get on the phone, they gossip about everything and have no understanding about anything because they don't listen to what's going on. So you can listen to something that's silent. You know, when there's no noise and somebody says, just be quiet. Because I know my mother used to say the same thing. Y'all just be quiet. Don't be making no noise.
Yes, yes.
But when you're quiet and you can hear and you learn something and understand, what is quietness?
That's the point. And Laretha Foster Bram says we all have a PhD of life, especially your own life. Okay? Because you should be an authority on your life, especially if you have a mind that is not influenced by other people. Some people are so afraid to give their opinion because they think that is not what people want to say. He said, and Laretha says that silence has a language. Yeah, it does, because sometimes that self-talk might be the best conversation that you're going to have. You know, because you need to know your mind, because when you know your mind, you find your purpose.
And the highest education, no one on the face of the earth will ever receive the highest education there is. So you cannot actually receive that degree. You can forget it. But the point is, the stairway to heaven, the stairway through life is a continuation to continue to learn, to understand something.
That's right.
Because you can stop for 5 seconds, just like when we do this podcast.
Yeah.
It used to take an hour. It was like, wait a minute, you know. But now that hour seems like 5 minutes. Right. But in that 5 minutes of that hour, we accomplish a lot. We learn a lot. We present a lot. We listen to you. It's about learning to understand something.
That's right.
And so again, really a PhD in society is really one who have written their own book.
That's right.
That somebody, a panel of people, of persons or whoever, says, yes, this is a great book. This is a great seller. But did you write your book?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because, you know, it's so funny, Ron. A lot of times when we're having our program, I get these epiphanies, you know, and I have an epiphany right now. I think what I like to do is, and we'll talk about this, but maybe, you know, we talked about it before, and we even tried to do it, but I like to get to a situation where we, you know, have a book club on the air, you know, where we maybe get some people maybe to come into the studio, and we've all read the same book, and let's say we get 5 people in the studio. We all read the same book, but maybe they have a different take on the book. Because again, I think it's so important to have the knowledge, and I think one of the things about healthy aging is really one of the keys is lifelong learning. You said, Laretha says, learning and understanding yourself is one of the keys to life. And I do believe that. And again, in our mind, body, and book segment, I just want to share a few books. And one of the books that I want to share is a book called Identity Leadership. To lead others, you must first lead yourself. And this is by Stedman Graham. You know? And again, a lot of times I think Stedman really doesn't get his due. Because a lot of times when people think about Stedman Graham, they think about Oprah Winfrey, who has been his companion for a long time. And of course, you know, we know who she is, but you know what? You know, Stedman has learned from her. And I just want to share this briefly from the book, because he talks about Oprah. He says here, you know, we see her, you know, this is a book called Identity Leadership. Who are you? And what kind of leader you are. And he says here about Oprah. And I want to share this because I think this is just so timely, and it shows that you can learn a lesson from being with someone else. And he says here, Oprah Winfrey, identity leader, as a businesswoman, as a philanthropist, as a person. And he says here, this is some things that he sees in her identity. And this is Oprah, they call her, I had to say boyfriend, you know, but the companion. And this is what he learned from observing Oprah. Number 1, she works hard. She knows we cannot achieve our fullest without hard work. Number 2, she is energetic. She throws herself into her work, giving it her all. She is long past the point where she could coast, but she doesn't because that's not her nature. Number 3, she believes in and takes personal responsibility. She believes we need to be accountable for our actions. Number 4, she loves learning. She is a tireless learner. Number 5, she is not afraid to take risks. Number 6, she's not afraid of failure. She had plenty of failures in her life. She just learns from them and moves on. She says, no such thing as failure in my life. I just don't believe in it. I have no fear of failure or of succeeding. I just do what I do, and I know that that will keep me in the best place. Number 7, she maintains a balance between her personal and professional life. She manages stress on both sides of her life very well. Number 8, she is honest and transparent. As she says, you can't know the truth until you're willing to know yourself, and vice versa. Knowing yourself is a lifelong process, with your biggest lesson often emerging from your biggest mistakes. Number 9, she is decisive. She gathers the facts and information she needs and moves forward with a decision based on her instincts. 10, she adds value. Her businesses, shows, and ventures are all about giving back, not just taking from customers or students or audiences. Number 11, she loves herself. Oprah has long valued her healthy self-love and love of others. It fills you up, she says. It mends the tattered and broken spaces in your spirit and makes you feel whole. Number 12, she enjoys the journey. This can be easier said than done for someone with her schedule, but she takes the time to enjoy successes and milestones along the way, as well as the daily journey. If she were not able to do this, she would have burned out long ago. So this is Stedman Graham on Oprah Winfrey, and again, he has the privilege of being with this woman for a long time, and of course, she's learned from him, and I'm sure he's learned from her. And again, and it's so funny because when you read these books by celebrities, and because they know other celebrities, and I just want to share this. And this is from his friend Diana Ross. And Diana Ross says, you can't just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream. You got to get out there and make it happen yourself. And so again, this is Diana Ross, another successful woman. Another book I want to share with you just briefly, and this is from John C. Maxwell, who we talked about our last program. We talked about leadership. And this is John C. Maxwell. And John C. Maxwell, the title of the book is Talent is Never Enough. Discover the choices that will take you beyond your talent. Okay? Talent is not enough. And again, another book with people who are famous. Sophia Loren. She is a well-known actress. And she says, and I quote, getting ahead in a difficult profession requires avid faith in yourself. That is why some people with mediocre talent, but with the inner drive, go much further than people with vastly superior talent. And this is from a woman that knows. And before I leave this segment on mind, body, and books, I want to share a fiction book. It seems, Ron, that black women, especially in publishing, every time I turn around, there's a new book from a black woman. And I think it's because in terms of fiction, especially, women like what they call romance fiction. And they like this so much that they have really brought a lot of these books. And this book here is called When the Music Hits, a novel by Amber Oliver. When the Music Hits by Amber Oliver. And Ron, I think I might even reach out to her because, again, it says here, Amber Oliver is a writer and a book editor. Born and raised in the Bronx, New York, she currently resides in Harlem. When the Music Hits is her first novel. Someone who had a dream, had a desire to write a novel, and this is her first book, and I'm sure there will be many others. But the point is that sometimes you have to stick with something until it's finished, like we said in the quotation. And I repeat, it says here, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. They were just that close to success, and for whatever reason, they said, you know what, I can't do this, and they let it go. And the sad thing about it is that this woman had an idea for a novel about the music industry. And again, this book is one of those books where, I want to stay home and just read this book all night. But the point I'm making is that she did not give up until it was done. And so the same thing with you. Is there a project? Is there a task? Is there something that you want to do, but it's hard and it's difficult? And you know that if you just push a little further, you can do it. But then you look for excuses. You're looking for reasons to give up. Don't do that, because again, like we said in the beginning, who is the man with the master plan? Who is the woman with the master plan? Who's the person with the master plan? Because you have to have a plan, yeah, but that plan means nothing unless you put action and passion behind it.
You know, and to piggyback off that, which is so true and short, we say it 1,000 times, you heard it 1,000 times, life presented it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. Don't give up, no matter what. To continue to help one strengthen themselves is to look at those before you, those who are on the side of you, those in the front of you, struggling to do something.
Right.
If they're in front of you, what are you doing to help push them along? And the ones that's in front, what are you doing to help pull somebody from behind? Our history, I don't care what history it is, you know, you see not only our culture, but every culture around the world in life struggle through something to make a difference.
That's right.
No matter how far they got. But the fact is, it's because of that moment that made a difference in the moment for somebody else to look back and look at that history. And even as you said, for example, like with Oprah and Stedman, you know, this is just an example.
Yeah, of course.
She is where she's at today. But if you look at the history, she didn't get that overnight.
Right.
It didn't happen overnight. It came with a challenge within inside of herself to push herself to go through. But in the same token, somebody told her, you will go to school. You will get an education.
That's right.
So with that, she had to make a determination within herself to do what she needed to do to get where she's at today. And after that, everything else becomes not so much of a roller coaster, easy ride, because now you have greater levels of responsibility.
That's
but
right.
one of the biggest things and what's good is that her, as an example, sort things in various categories.
That's right.
She don't bunch everything up together like she trying to be this and trying to be that. No, because even with Oprah, she has help all around, and that's the difference. No one person can build a castle by themselves. You need help and support.
Yeah, because that's the whole concept about teamwork. You know, again, Olivia says we all learn from each other. That's part of our existence. Struggling to a place to appreciate and to appreciate one another. I mean, Stedman and Oprah. I mean, that's a power couple. You want that. You know, they say that iron sharpens iron, and we want to do that. And I mean, Oprah is great in what she does, but Stedman is also a New York Times best-selling author. So I mean, he's no slouch. And so again, I would say that they are definitely evenly yoked, because sometimes I've seen situations, Ron, and it's sad. Because when I was teaching at I think what Essex County College, and this young lady was brilliant, you know, and I asked her, why you always come to class late? Well, she said, it's my boyfriend. She said, you know, we only have one car, and he knows I got to go to school, but he always brings the car back late. And I'm thinking, you know, is he trying to sabotage her? Is he trying to make her not reach her goals? Because sometimes we get into a situation, especially when we're unevenly yoked, that the man is holding back the woman is holding back the man. And sometimes I know, and I've seen situations where a young lady was going to school and her husband or boyfriend became abusive because he thought that she was trying to be better than he was, not realizing that if you win, I win. You know, why is that so hard for couples to understand? You know, we're not in competition. If we're a couple, it's no competition.
It's an attitude, a bad attitude.
Is that what it
That's
is?
all it is.
But it's crazy, ain't it?
I know, and see, that's the issue. That's what's wrong. Instead of going with the flow, you go with the flow to try and make a difference.
That's right.
If it doesn't work, then you change direction collectively
That's right.
and go in that direction. But I'm trying to do one thing, you trying to say no, no, no. But if you say no, 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 at least give me some understanding why you're saying no. Don't just tell me no. Pick up the pieces. What pieces? Where they at?
Well, that's the thing, and that's why we have to work together, because again, as John C. Maxwell always says, teamwork makes the dream work. But the other part to that is that if you have a bad team, that's a nightmare. But again, we want to see. The thing is, especially with black men and women, we want to rise together. Okay, rise together, help each other. Don't be jealous of each other, and don't sabotage each other. Okay, that's even worse.
Absolutely, and in all seriousness, and we always try to be serious, but we try to also have sense of humor, and let's be real.
That's right.
And as you indicated, our ancestors, when you look back in your history, even as of this conversation,
that's right.
each and every person on this podcast is looking, your audience, look at your history from when you was a child, your ancestors. Look what they've been through. It was because of them that you are here today.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that everybody had a sweet, loving, happy birthday life. But the bottom line is those who came through a condition also became somebody. It's only the attitude that changes everything today. So technically, and I say that technically, we're supposed to be as one.
That's right.
We may not agree on everything, but we should not be fighting each other.
Exactly.
Because if our ancestors didn't do it under conditions you cannot begin to imagine.
Oh, wow.
No matter how you look at it, you can't even have a nightmare over the condition that they've been through. And yet here we are today. We are so divided and separated, it's just unreal. No matter how you look at it, instead of say, wait a minute, why are we fighting?
Yeah.
How come we can't come together?
Yeah, and again, and in this time, more than ever, we need to be together. Again, I want to just pivot here, and I want to go into the Music is Lit segment. And again, when I do these Music is Lit segments, I think of myself as a disc jockey, presenting music and also presenting some commentary. And tonight I'm looking at some groups here. I'm looking at Sounds of Blackness, I'm looking at Soul to Soul, and I'm looking at Earth, Wind, and Fire. And again, these are songs, but these are anthems. These are things that we want to put in our minds and in our spirits. And the first song is Optimistic, and this is from Sounds of Blackness, and this is from 1991. Optimistic. When in the midst of sorrow, you can't see up when looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. You have the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams. Don't give up and don't give in, although it seems you never win. You will always pass the test as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win or lose as you keep your head to the sky. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. If things around you crumble, you don't have to stumble and fall. Keep pushing and don't look back. I know storms and strife out of your album of life. Just think ahead and you'll be inspired to reach higher and higher. You'll always do your best if you learn to never say never. You may be down, but you're not out. That's when I feel lifted. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. And that's Optimistic by the Sounds of Blackness. And I want to go on. This is from 1989. This is from Soul to Soul. And the leader in this group is Karen Wheeler. And this, again, is a song called Keep On Moving. It's an anthem. Keep on moving. Don't stop like the hands of time. Click clock, find your way to stay. The time will come one day Why do people choose to live their lives this way? Keep on moving, don't stop. No, keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving, don't stop. No, keep on moving. It's our time today. The right time is here to stay. Stay in my life always. Yellow is the color of sun rays. I really come when you'll be in my life always. Yellow is the color of sun rays. Keep on moving, don't stop. No, 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 like the hands of time. Find your own way to stay. Way to stay, the time will come one day. Why do people choose to live their lives this way? Or why do they choose this way? Keep on moving, don't stop. No, keep on moving, don't stop. Oh yeah, keep on moving, moving along, singing my song. The time will come one day. I hide myself from no one. I know time will really come when you'll be in life. My life always. Yellow is the color of sun rays. And the last song that I want to share with the community is one of my favorite. Again, this is a song that by one of my favorite groups, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the song is Keep Your Head to the Sky. And it reads, Master told me one day that I'd find peace in every way, but in search for the clue, wrong things I was bound to do. Keep my head to the sky, for the clouds will tell me why. As I grew and with strength, Master kept me as I repent, and he said, keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. He gave me the will to be free, purpose to live his reality. Hey, and I found myself never alone. Chances came to make me strong. To step right up and be a man, cause you need faith to understand. So we're just saying for you to hear, keep your head in faith's atmosphere. Keep your head to the sky so the clouds, keep your head to the sky so they can tell you why. Lord, keep your head to the sky. Surely the clouds are going to tell you why. Give me the will to be free, purpose to live his reality. Oh, and I found myself never alone, because chances came, they came to make me strong. Hey, to step right up and be a man, oh, you need faith to understand. So I was just saying for you to hear, keep your head in faith's atmosphere. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Don't walk around with your head hung down. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Surely, surely, the clouds are going to tell you why. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. That's Earth, Wind, and Fire. And again, we just shared with you some anthems, you know, whether it be moving up or keep on keeping on or whatever. You know, these are things to move you forward and also to be optimistic. Now, this is the time of the program where we go into a segment called Food for Thought. And in this segment, I want you really to listen to what we're going to be talking about tonight. You know, because my brother has mentioned this many, many times before in passing, but I wanted to pin him down. I want to get the most out of this brother here, you know. And he spoke about this many times in many different situations on our program, but I want to pin this down. And here, and so our Food for Thought segment, we're going to talk about the art of conversation. And Ron, I want to go to you. When you say the art of conversation, what do you mean by that?
The art of conversation, and I stand on this, is the beauty of what life has to offer. It's love, it's emotion, it's spiritual. Okay. It's a mind-blowing level of education. It's understanding how a person thinks, how they feel, where they're coming from, where they're going, what desires do they have. I mean, for example, everybody runs out to McDonald's, get a burger, or Chick-fil-A,
or whatever,
get some chicken, whatever. But where is the art of conversation? Just to reminisce in the moment, just to savor the time spent.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a piece, let's take a ride.
Let's take a ride.
Can I say to you, hey, you want to take a ride? Don't ask where we going. You just killed it. So the art of conversation, can you just sit back and relax and listen to the moment of nothing? Have a conversation.
That's right.
Simpleness. Even if you talk about the childhood moment you had when you was playing on the swings or writing chalk on the sidewalk or dance, I can hold a conversation with anybody. Right. The point is, if you say, hey, Ron, let's get out and do some jump rope. Why not? You see, the whole thing is if you're reading a book or listen to the lyrics of a song or reading the lyrics of a song or poetry, to sit back, how does that make you feel? Does it stimulate you to inspire you to feel something different? Because there's nothing worse than old stuff, stale stuff, whatnot.
That's right, yeah.
But the art of conversation is about stimulating light. The air you breathe, the sun that shines, the moon that glitters, the stars that's brighten your whole day and night, no matter how you look at it. Can you hold hand? Do you feel like holding hand? Can you touch hand? It doesn't mean that it has to go any place other than that. The art of conversation is what we do, what we try to present here. To have a dialogue, whether it's a book, our guests. That's what it's all about. People looking for love. They want to be in love. They can't understand why the relationship with some place. But have the understanding of the art of conversation. You'd be surprised. The antidote is in the art of conversation. A stimulating moment to where you can reap the benefit from something that was disastrous. You got stung by a bee, you got stung by mosquitoes. Even gnats fly around, you get irritated. But you can have fun even with the gnats flying around you. Those gnats could be the people that's hanging around you. And so, like, the old saying, misery loves company. What company are you keeping? So in essence, and it goes so deep and so far. That's just an introduction to what I truly stand on, what I believe, the art of conversation.
But I'm thinking that as I listen to you talk about that, I mean, with the art of conversation, don't you have to have a certain level of openness? A certain level of recepting, because how does that fit into it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we were saying. Life itself. Do you close your mouth and just allow your ears to open up? And then the response is, hey, you just give a response of how you felt. What interests you? What turned you on? What sparked something inside of you? You see, let's look at this.
Yeah, please.
Animals themselves. And I'll use a deer I'm going to use all animals.
Okay.
When there is something, a sound of some sort that you can't hear, what happens to an animal? You see this, the ears go up because they hear, they listen for it. They might be eating, but they listen. They're trying to see what is the sound. And if you have a cat or a dog, they know you by your voice. Matter of fact, there's a scripture. Jesus said they know me by my voice. Are you listening? Is he speaking to you? Is the Holy Spirit with you? Is your spirit with you? So yes, that's what it's all about, is openness, and that's is part of the art of conversation. Are you listening? Do you receive something? Do you respond to something? You don't engage with that ain't right. No, it's not about a challenge. It's not a tug of war. It's about receiving something and understanding something from a different perspective.
Yeah, and I think in terms of talking to our community, the art of conversation is being receptive, but also not being defensive. A lot of times, somebody says something to you, and automatically you got your fists up. You want to fight. Listen to what they have to say. They might be right, they might be wrong, but at least give it a listen. Don't be so quick to say no. You don't know what you're talking about. Did you hear what they have to say in full? Because sometimes you hear the beginning, and because you're not receptive, it's like somebody talking, and you don't even hear what they say. Or you see their mouth moving, but because you're so resistant to their message that you don't hear anything else. And so they start talking, and then you tune them out, and it's just mouth moving, and then you come in with your point that you want to make, and that you're going to stick with even before you got new information. The art of conversation is taking in new information and digesting that, okay? Whatever you hear, it might be not to your liking, but at least give it a chance. It's like children, So I don't like kale. You ever had kale? No, I don't like spinach. You ever had spinach? No, I don't like jazz. Do you really know there's many different types of jazz? You know? So again, community. The art of conversation is being open to new ideas, new experiences, new emotions maybe.
And you're right, just like you said, it's being receptive. Let me say this. I don't want to call the person's name because she might be listening.
No.
But a friend of mine, you know, she asked me, because she writes poetry. So she called me, she asked me to listen to something. So as she finished, I responded. And right away before I was finished, she jumps in and tells me, well, I wasn't paying attention. Well, you asked me from my perspective, my opinion. And one of the biggest things, you cannot attack somebody's opinion. You ask somebody. You listen, dialogue. If you don't like it, which like you said, if you don't like it, fine. But think about it, because you don't know which way they're coming from. You might see something from a different perspective. So I said to her, I said it's a good piece, just that it has too many of this. It sounds like a riddle. Oh, no, you wasn't paying attention.
She didn't want to hear that.
Hold up.
Hear that.
You asked me. So you cannot, and that's what's wrong now. Too many want to have a conversation and turn around and tell you no. Okay, let's just say this. Let's say you disagree.
Yes.
At least come back with something that's clear enough for the person who presented something so they can have an understanding to understand where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Why did you say no? Why did you do this? You can't grab the steering wheel and say, no, we're going this way and never looked at what's coming, and all of a sudden there's an accident, now you want to blame me.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
See, that's what's wrong.
That's what's wrong. Could you hand me that book there? Because I want to make a point here, because sometimes we have to understand when we have conversations, who are we talking to? Who are we talking to? This book that I have in my hand is called Friends, Lovers, and Soulmates, a guide to better relationships between black men and women. And the authors of this book is Derek S. Hopkins, Ph.D., and his wife, Darlene Powell Hobson, Ph.D. And I have this book here, and I want you to look at it. And again, sometimes when we have conversation, who are we talking to? Are we talking to a friend? Are we talking to a lover? Are we talking to a soulmate? And again, a lot of times we don't want to just be a friend one day because we want to be a soulmate the next. That's not how it goes. Friend, lover, and soulmate. And maybe there's something before them. Maybe there's associate, then friend, a lover, and a soulmate. I think a lot of times we don't know who we're talking to. And because we don't know who we're talking to, we may say the wrong thing. We may turn that person off. And that's why the associate will never become a friend. And maybe the friend will never become a lover. And the lover will never become a soulmate, because we got to understand that we have to tailor our message to the person that we're talking to. I'm not going to talk to my twins the way I would talk to their father. It's a different level of maturity, and also it's a different level of interest. I mean, I talk to my twins all the time, but I meet them at a common ground, you know. So what I have to say, they'll find interesting. If I talk above their heads, they're not going to find interesting, and we're not going to have a conversation. So, Ron, I think again, man, you know, this thing about the art of conversation is so important. And Dina Robinson says, "I'm here." Terry and Ron and Dina, thank you for being here. But again, the art of conversation is saying the right thing at the appropriate time.
You know, Joyce Meyer has a book. Many who may have heard know of Joyce Meyer. She's a pastor. Yeah. And she wrote a book, The Battlefield of the Mind.
Oh, yes, I remember that book.
You see, here, this is interesting. How many of y'all, you know, stood out there and you argue with yourself at home in your mirror looking at, no.
Yeah.
But in the same token, you catch yourself.
That's right.
You realize who you're talking to. The mirror says, that's what I'm trying to figure out. but But it's when you carry on the outside and
right,
trying to
that's
have a
right.
conversation. Now the same catastrophic, chaotic mess going on in your head. You want to argue with somebody. Somebody just said, "I just
Oh,
asked
my
a
goodness.
question.
Yes,
I was
yes.
just expressing something. Why are you getting all upset?"
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden, because I said something, now I hit a fuse inside of you that I have no clue why I was burnt out,
Yeah, that's right.
what kind of
That's right.
relationship you had, or who made you mad.
Yes.
You don't come to a peaceful table with an attitude.
That's right. That's
You
right.
come to look for
yeah.
calmness. You come to look for soothingness.
That's right.
And that's
right,
what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's important to understand, what's going on in your head. Now, let me say this.
Yeah.
I'm a life coach.
Mhm.
I don't practice it, but I practice it each and every day.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I enjoy talking to people and have a conversation. Because I listen.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. When I took this course, the training, one of the things the facilitator said, two things. Listen for and listen to.
I love that.
And everybody has a network of conversation going on in their head. So even as I'm speaking, I know half of y'all, some of y'all, somebody, whoever out there have all these things going on in your head because you trying to listen to the TV, hear what somebody else said. And that's what's important. Are you paying attention? Are you focused? So listen for. Okay, you're trying to get an understanding.
Wow.
Listen to is when you want to eject, say, no, well, all that other stuff.
Yes.
And so again, to go back to Joyce's mind, battlefield of the mind. You'd be surprised all the things that's going on in your head, all those network of conversation
Wow. Yeah,
end up being tangled up. Slow down, take your time, sort it out, and don't tie one thing into the other because what happens, you short circuit something somebody else's fuel. Now everybody go home mad or upset. But the sad part of and I want to say this part on a very serious moment, session. Too often, people end up committing a crime or suicide. See, so the most important is when you listen to what's not being said. Listen to when a person's carrying out, even though they have a smile. We say it all the time, like Smokey Robinson,
That's
Tears
right.
of a Clown.
That's right.
You don't
Tears
know
of
what's
a Clown,
behind
yeah.
that smile.
That's right.
But if you learn to humble yourself, you learn to listen, you can feel the vibes of something that's either positive, something that's negative.
Yes.
And if something is going wrong, you can simply say, are you okay?
That's right.
Do you need a hug?
Yeah.
Don't get to the point, I don't know who you are, I don't mean hug me.
That's right, yeah,
But
that's
you
just
don't know
wrong.
what
Yeah.
a person's going through.
Yeah,
So the art of conversation is all about learning to understand how to listen.
Yeah. And my thing, again, in the art of conversation, I think if it's done correctly, it's a win-win situation. Okay, I win, you win. I stated what my feeling was, you stated what your feeling was, and in that way, we both have a win-win situation. It's not like I'm overpowering you, you're overpowering me. We're having a conversation. And a conversation, if you look at the dictionary, it means give and take. Okay? It's not one-sided. You say what you have to say, I say what I have to say, and hopefully we can develop some synergy so we both walk away with satisfaction.
And here, let's look at and have a clear understanding as society says somebody crazy, because normally we always use the term, oh, she crazy, he crazy, he don't know. But when a person pick and choose what battle, what conversation, what they want to say, when they want to say, who they want to say it to, then you're not crazy.
Right.
You're just plain stupid, stone ignorant.
Yes,
Now, when you go to the doctor, you say, doctor, I have a pain here. The doctor examined where you thought you had the pain, but fail to realize if you listen to your body, the pain may not be here.
That's right.
The pain might be someplace else. And what kind of pain is? Do you have pain in my heart? It's because it's heartbroken? Do you feel lonely? But do you really have pain that there is a blood clot that's building up because of an attitude, because you won't take care of yourself, you won't think about listening to your body? Everyone in the medical field, for the most part, always say, listen to your body. It'll tell you exactly what's going on. Your body means your mind, your mental state, your emotional state, your spiritual state, no matter how you look at it. Listen to it. Don't just wait till the last minute and say, the doctor, I feel my breast is here, or doctor, prostate, this and that.
Yeah, whatever,
But did you listen to the silentness that the body was saying, hey, change the food. Give me a hug. Give me a little love.
Yeah,
Can you embrace me?
Yeah.
Do I feel good? And so when the body starts to shed little tears in my eyes, that's when your soulmate comes to you and say, baby, you're okay.
That's right.
Let me just touch you and hold you. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and again, this is something that we're going to look at again. Dina Robinson says, yes, honest conversation from both parties. What does the song say? It takes two. It takes two to make a dream come true. It takes two to have a good conversation.
And like Teddy Pendergrass said, we could take a ride. Let's take a ride. 60-40, whatever it is, 50-50 love.
Yeah.
The soothe, whatnot.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
That's right.
People, it's nothing complicated, just that human nature by their own flesh makes it hard. If you don't like a conversation, somebody say, I appreciate it.
That's right.
Talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, because Teddy said it's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
Yep.
And again, in order to have that, we got to be moving in the same direction, like my brother said here. And so the art of conversation is us moving together, us really taking the time to do that. And sometimes, sometimes we move too fast. Okay, we want to go from this to this to this. Let's take our time. Like my brother has a poem called "Let's Take a Ride." I think about Smokey Robinson said, "Cruising," let's cruise, and it's a beautiful song because again, it's taking our time to really understand each other, and taking our time to be each other, to be with each other. Do you have that poem, brother? Because I think that would be excellent if we end with that. Yeah, because again, let's take a ride. Let's explore each other. Let's understand each other. Let's not try to get ahead of each other, And I think, again, when you talk about the art of conversation, it's really like two minds coming together. It's two minds sharing the knowledge. So let's take a ride.
Oh,
briefly.
I can start it. That time is short. But we'll come back and continue this at another time.
Okay.
Let's take a ride. Smooth sailing along the parkway. The highway passes a water of streams up until we inhale the breath of life. Yes. And society in a cooperating moment while staring at the sky. Let's take a ride to soothe our mind. Deep passion sipping on a tea leaf drink. Whispering a conversation like birds of the air as the winds wrap around while consumed by the lack of our awareness. Yes. Freedom implies that we are far away in a land beyond our reach. Let's take a ride and evade the past for tomorrow's sounds. Sounds of soft music, easily listening as the fowls of the air soar high. Joking and laughing about nothing, something across the countryside on a road that leads to nowhere. Where did I come from? It's not my business. To know where I'm going is my freedom. To know where I am at is to choose how I feel. Feeling vulnerable in the space and time that consumes my emotion. Flirting with myself without the loneliness, emptiness, guilt, or isolation that bounds my choice to scream aloud. I feel good, so let's take a ride. I seesaw through the mountain shade, through the valleys around the bends, howling with joy. My therapeutic moment allowed my existentialism to identify my whereabouts without the sounds of any noise. So let's take a ride. Where do I go? The shades of darkness cover me as we traveled in the valley of my journey, through the twists and turns in and out of a cave and without knowing where it leads. Moving high, feeling good, no destination, no pain, no restriction, only to find the sun shining right where it stood. Let's take a ride and soar through our magical dreams. Let's take a ride as the sunset and the moon rises. Let's take a ride with my lover and me. Let's take a ride. And with that, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, Time has come to a moment. But let's take a ride. Until next time, we see you again.
Good evening.